showtime, which means that we're live. So, hi. I haven't done introductions thus far, but I'm Nathan from the Dot Mill, and today on our Tech Happy Hour, we're going to build a computer. Wait, this is distracting. So I'm actually getting feedback in my headphones because for today, we're going to show you the actual workbench, which means that you'll actually get to see exactly what I'm doing. And for that, that means I'm going to have to be facing the other way. So I've actually set up a webcam. I don't know if you can see just up there, that little thing with the blue lights. So yes, you can see from over there. Anyway, we have some questions, but we're probably not going to cover so many of those today. We've got a list of them. We'll answer some of those tomorrow, unless they're in relation to this. We did actually see somebody who was asking about building a computer this morning. So yes, this topic is going to be quite relevant for that person. Hi, if you're watching. Hopefully you are. And hopefully this will be helpful. So this time as well, so look, I'll show you what we're going to see on the workbench. And this time as well, we also have joining us for the first time on the Dot Mill, Mr. Bearded Bacon. Hello.
Hi, guys.
All right. There we go. So, and Mr. Boo.
And Mr. Boo.
Yes, anyway. And drinks. We have drinks.
We have drinks.
See? So what are you drinking today?
Just
What
Coke.
was that? Okay.
Just Coke. I just couldn't find my good glass.
Oh, yeah. I have Kirk's Ginger Ale.
The fancy stuff. Wait, why Kirk's? Oh, wait, Kirk's is Bundaberg.
No, Kirk's is just cheap. Kirk's is owned by Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Anyway, so before we begin, I have some notes here. Let me just pull those up, if I can find them. I have no idea where I actually put them. We might be in trouble. I lost my notes.
It also appears the stream froze.
Oh. Okay, I found my notes. Apparently.
Yeah.
Come back. Please hold while we have technical difficulties.
No, it is. It's still live.
Oh, look. Chloe says hello. Hi, Chloe.
Oh no, I'm trying to watch the stream on the other monitor and it just keeps... It's currently frozen for some reason.
That's not a good sign. But anyway, all right, let's start with this. So I'm going to take the headphones off again while I talk through this because it's a little bit distracting. What?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. All right. So today we're looking at building a computer. So first thing that I've got in the notes is there's two different options with that. You can either go pre-built, so you can buy a computer from somebody, from a computer store, from a shop, Harvey Norman, JB Hi-Fi, whatever, or you can go down the DIY option. Obviously, today we're going down the DIY option. Now, look, the advantage to pre-built is that it's not your problem. You buy it, you bring it home, you unpack it, you plug it in, you're good to go. And that's it. End of story. If it has a problem, you take it back, get it fixed, etc. Like I said, not your problem. Just off and go. DIY, however, is, well, really, it's more satisfying. You built it yourself. Like, you can say, I did it, I accomplished this, I made the thing work, which, yeah, the first time you do it is like, you're like, I did it. It was me. It was all my work. Am I right?
Yes, it's a very good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with that, it's also potentially more problematic. So, yeah, there is that as well. But yeah, nevertheless, we're going down the DIY option for today. And then even once you get down to that part, then you've got new parts or you've got used parts. So both of them have their pros and cons. And we've looked at new versus used a few times, like personally on my other brand channel, which is Scrappy Out Techie. We've looked at that a couple of times and the gap's fairly well closed now between new and used. Used can still be slightly cheaper if you keep an eye out for bargains and stuff. You can do fairly well with that. So if you spend the same amount of money on something new versus something used. You can come out with something better used, but like I said, there's pros and cons. So let's start with the new parts first, because that's the, well, first pro really is that it's the easiest option. Like, to source them, it's quicker. There's not usually a limited quantity. You can just go down to the store or buy it online, have it delivered to you, or pick it up like now, straight away, as long as the store's open. You don't have to worry about, oh, is it sold yet? Is it still available? It's just, if it's advertised, it's there. You go get it, bang, done. You've got it. It's all yours. Obviously, if you're buying new too, all the latest models are available. So if you want the current latest and greatest, chances are you're going to have to buy new, unless someone's selling them secondhand for whatever reason. If they're upgrading to something else that's new, that's better, anything like that. Or, you know, if they have to sell it off for financial reasons or whatever, that happens sometimes, and maybe you can pick up a bargain that way. But yeah, that's not a very common occurrence. The other thing too is your warranty. You will have warranty on brand new parts as long as you buy it from a shop, then, or, you know, from a trusted reseller, from the manufacturer directly. I don't know if you can do that so much with computer parts, but with other stuff you can. You know, appliances, stuff like that. Other stuff that aren't computers, although some computers you can buy directly. Like, you can buy directly from Dell. Yeah, anyway, yeah, we won't go into that.
Cheaper.
Hey?
It doesn't make it any cheaper, though.
No, it definitely doesn't. We'll chalk that up to cons, but we'll come back to that later. What else have we got? Oh, obviously they're going to be clean, both from a hygiene point of view and from like a dust and dirt point of view. If you buy brand new, it's brand new. No one's used it before, or no one should have used it before. It's going to be brand new in the packaging. You don't have to clean it. You don't have to worry about anything like that. But then on the used side parts, your pros for that is it's usually cheaper, or there's bargains to be had. So you could pay the same amount of money, say, for something low to mid range, and get the previous generation secondhand in mid to high end range. Just, you know, something to think about, and they'll often outperform the new ones, or come very close to, depending. But yeah, anyway. What else are we looking at? Pros. Sometimes there are bonuses to be had, like, you know, you might score, I don't know, if it's the case, you might score optical drive, which, yeah, you've done if you want one of those. Yeah, I know, not everybody wants one of those. Actually, the biggest bonus these days, if you buy a used motherboard, it often has a Windows 10 license attached to it, so you then don't have to go and buy an operating system, and that could save you what, like $150+. So that's pretty good. And yeah, it's just overall better bang for buck. Like, you know, you pay less money and you get something faster than what you would have bought new. I think I briefly covered on that already. But anyway, so the cons, on the cons side, wait, yeah?
And the other positive is when you get secondhand, you can upgrade still in the future.
Yeah.
So when you buy brand new, the amount of money you put in to get a brand new system, there's not really much buffer space for upgrades. Whereas if you get a secondhand computer and you want a slightly better graphics card, you'll have a bit more money to spend on upgrading the graphics card.
The other thing too, if you're going budget, you can get the parts together to build a computer, like a whole computer, cheaper than what it would cost you to build a whole computer new.
Yeah,
it's just a bit more effort. But anyway, okay. So on the con side of things, for the new parts, obviously they're more expensive, more often than not, like for what you get. And you have your immediate loss of value. Like when you buy a new car, as soon as you take it out of the packaging or in the car case, drive it down the road, your value starts dropping immediately. You can't turn around and sell it straight away the minute you walk out the shop and go, hey, I sold this for you, to you for a brand new price, or the price of a brand new one. That one. You just can't do that because it's not brand new anymore. Even if you haven't opened it, people still won't pay brand new price. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think there was many other cons to buying new parts, so that was about it. Value for money and loss of value. Yeah. On the con side for used parts, though, you really need to know what you're looking at. So the models, the performance comparisons, stuff like that. And not only that, compatibility, what's going to work with what, although that goes for new parts as well. You still need to know what works with what, so you don't buy stuff that's completely incompatible with each other. secondhand parts too are harder to find. So usually it's limited. If you're looking at used parts or secondhand parts, when they're for sale, usually the seller only has one of the item or maybe a limit. They may have, multiple, thinking X mining graphics cards. They might have 10 or something. But either way, once they're all gone, they're all gone. They can't just call the supplier and go, hey, send me another 10 to sell to this guy who wants the 11th one, because there is no supplier. And they may need cleaning from dust and dirt and stuff. Yeah. Or if it's like a keyboard or a mouse or a headset, Canada Glen 20 over there.
Need more than that.
Hey?
I'd need more than just that.
We won't go into that one. And then your other one is that you don't necessarily know who you're buying from, so the seller may not necessarily be trustworthy. So if you buy the thing, get it shipped to you, or even pick it up and take it home and find it doesn't work, you may be up the creek, because there's no warranty with private sales. And there's not many companies doing secondhand sales of computer parts. Not as far as I know, anyway. But yeah, the big thing, which I mentioned, was that you need to know what is and isn't compatible. So you need to do your homework. With the used parts, there's the added thing of you need to know performance, and you need to know what the current price of new stuff is, because there's no point in paying more for something used if it doesn't perform as well as the new part, because then you're just throwing money down the toilet. So yeah, there's that. That's about it. That's pretty much all I've got for that.
Yeah.
So we should probably start building a computer.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at the time, and I'm like, the more he's talking, the shorter time frame he has to build this thing.
It's true. I'm not expecting it to take overly long, though.
Oh no, cable management, man.
Yeah. We'll have a look at that. Excuse me. All right, so for this,
have,
I think
a
I
drop-down
mentioned...
list of prices, of what you have.
Hey?
You don't have a drop-down menu you can show the parts being used?
I'm going to do that on the bench.
Oh, okay, cool.
So let us move over to... Let's get rid of me, and let's say hello to me. Hello. Okay. I'm bringing the microphone with me. And look behind the scenes. And I need to bring...
And for anyone who thinks that the camera quality is worse, they're the exact same cameras.
Yes,
which is very
they
confusing.
I can confirm. I can confirm it is very confusing.
He's been trying to get the same one as me, but they're currently all sold out. Well,
yeah.
All webcams are currently sold out. Except for the $1,500 one.
Yeah, we ain't paying that. All right.
No.
We can say goodbye to Boo now. Bye, Boo. Boo is our in-house security guard, by the way. So
It scares everyone off.
Don't mess with Boo. All right. So where do we start? I think I just woke up your computer. Anyway. So to start off with, we have a Ryzen 3. I believe this is a 3200G. Yep. Ryzen 3 3200G. Where can that sit? Actually, let's sit that over. Yeah.
I'd sit at the other side if... Where are you grabbing from?
This side. So then we have 8 gigabytes of DDR4 from Kingston. Was it HyperX Fury something or other?
Good old HyperX.
Yeah, it's only 2133 because this was a budget build. So yes, that was all that was available at the time. Then for all that to go into, we have an ASRock A320M-HDV version 4 apparently. So yes,
it should be alright.
So
It should be alright.
Should be. So the only thing that was new out of that was the motherboard. CPU was secondhand, RAM was secondhand. Let's see, we've got this as well. We have a brand new Crucial 120 gig SSD I did actually have another SSD that was earmarked for this build, but that went into one of the kids' computers that we needed to get up and running for the start of remote learning. And then we have, I'll put it that way, this thing. Even though the Ryzen 3 3200G has built-in graphics, we're not going to use that. We're going to use this instead, which is is it 3 gig? 4 gig? 4 gig? Yeah, it's like 4 gig. AMD R9 380, and from Asus.
You should probably move the comments a bit closer to you.
Oh yeah, I can't actually see them.
We just had Neil comment.
Oh yeah, Neil says, hope mine will all be new. Yes, yours will all be new. This is actually a personal project. This is a budget build that I've been planning to do for, what, about 2 months? Let's go
Yeah,
with
it's
2
been
months.
there for a while.
Yeah, just a bit. All right.
So that's a Radeon card, isn't it? Or AMD card?
AMD card. So actually not last. Second last, but very important. Thermaltake light power, 750 watt power supply. I think that should be enough to power all this. Maybe a little bit overkill. So let's shift all of that back. And we also have case, which we're going to have to work inside of. So that's a Corsair. I don't even know what model it is. It's Corsair something. But we'll put that out of the way for now. All right. So I like to start with the motherboard first. And what we're going to do is put as much as possible together and then run it on the bench as a test. So, like I said, the motherboard was brand new. I'll take that out. Take that off the bottom. That'll do. Alright, what else do we have? We're probably going to need the IO shield or backing plate to put in the case later. And serial ATA cables for our drives, or SATA cables. So put those aside as well. Actually, you know what? We will need the manual just for the pinouts for the front connectors, for the switches and LEDs on the case. Sorry, what did you say?
I was going to say that you'll need the manual, but it also appears that the case is a carbide offshoot.
Yeah.
I can't find the exact one, but from what I'm looking at online, it appears it's one of the carbide styles.
Yep, that makes sense.
But it's
all right. Let's start with the processor. Should be this one here.
Have you got thermal paste ready?
No, I have some over there.
Okay.
I believe. I don't have it on the bench though. Alright, so we're going to line up the golden triangle on the processor with the triangle on the CPU socket. Oh, in case you missed it, I pulled the lever up first and then put it in and then lock that down.
Not gonna lie, that's one of my most annoying parts for
What's
Ryzen.
that?
The fact that it's not up and down like the CPU. Like, I know you don't see it and all that, but the fact that how hard would have it been to like stamp
Oh, to
it.
rotate the writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that either. Now, CPU cooler. I'm just using the stock one in this instance. Yeah, so because this was used, there's no thermal paste on that.
Yeah, you shouldn't really need to upgrade it anyway, unless you're overclocking it or gaming. Because those little Ryzen ones are pretty good.
Yes. Let me grab.
The other thing you could probably do, Nathan, is show like a comparison in size.
The CPU
For
coolers?
Yeah, for like the stock one compared to the one that comes on the more gamer-esque card.
All right. So I happen to have those handy. So this is the one that comes with the Ryzen 3. This is the one that comes with the Ryzen 5. Now, from the top down, they don't look all that much different. However, if we flip them up, you can actually see there's a massive difference. It's like twice the size.
And size does matter in this situation.
Now, I tend to use these for cleaning. These are baby wipes. These particular ones are fragrance free. They seem to do the job pretty well. I just want to make sure there's no excess thermal compound on the bottom of the cooler that we're going to use.
Yeah, so the bigger CPU cooler is one that came from a 6-core 12-thread CPU. I know this because it came from mine, which I don't need, but may go into one of my sister's builds later.
All right, so you know how I mentioned cleaning of secondhand parts? This was all the excess thermal compound that came off the bottom of this cooler. I'll just dry it off. Even some came off with that. But anyway, that should be clean enough now. Put that in the bin. Someone moved the bin on me.
I'm pretty sure it was you, just before the stream started.
Nobody has to know that. Alright, so for this, we've actually got to remove these two brackets so that we can mount the CPU cooler.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had to do that. Because those brackets there that Nathan's just removed tends to work with aftermarket coolers.
Or the older ones.
Yeah, like the all-in-one cooler I have on my computer. Those mounts work fine with it.
So before we go too much further, the concern that I have with this build is that this is a 3rd gen CPU, but the box for the motherboard says that it is. Oh no, it does say AMD Ryzen 3000 desktop ready.
Okay, that's alright. I was going to say you didn't do a BIOS flash.
Yeah, I haven't done a BIOS flash. Now, don't do what I just did, because I moved the motherboard after unscrewing those brackets, and the plate on the bottom came off.
I feel like that's an important thing.
There we go. Hey?
I feel like that's an important part.
Yeah. So, you only need a very little bit of thermal compound, thermal paste, thermal grease, whatever you want to call it. Usually about the size of a grain of rice. And then it will get squished.
Unless you're running a Threadripper. Then you want to put a whole container on it.
Oh, yeah. All right, so this, we need to make sure the screw holes line up, and then we're going to cross tighten. So start that one first, and start that one, and then that one.
I just realized the CPU cooler has the same thing as the CPU.
Yeah, the writing doesn't match.
Yeah. But the fact is that it's the opposite way as well.
So we're talking about this thing too.
Yeah.
Mind you, it does match the writing on the motherboard over here.
Yeah. True.
But that being said, I have tried to mount this on the other side before because this sticks out on a lot of motherboards. This will foul the fitment of your RAM on this side. So watch out.
Where the camera is, it looks like that's sitting over top of the first RAM slot anyway.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
But it's very close. Alright, and then we'll go back and tighten each one of those.
And these don't have to be super tight.
No. Where's that?
That was a concerning sound.
Yeah, it's just the springs.
Yeah.
Alright. So, after that, I'm going to put in some RAM.
Is that a ITX?
No, this is a micro ATX board.
Yeah.
So motherboards come in different sizes. This particular one is micro ATX.
Yeah. Then the next step up is just full ATX.
Yep.
You got EATX, I believe.
Yep. So extended ATX, and then you've got mini ITX, which is smaller than this one.
Yeah.
I think there's also, I don't know if it's an official standard, but I've heard of Pico ITX.
Never heard of that one. And the other thing is most of those pre-builts have like their own size as well, don't they? They don't really stick to the ATX and all that, do they?
No.
They get a bit annoying.
Proprietary manufacturers like Dell and HP and stuff, they don't use standard size motherboards usually, or power supplies sometimes.
Which, there you go, that's another con for buying brand new pre-builts as well, is the fact that
upgradability is negligible.
A lot of them are proprietary, so you can't really just chuck things in and upgrade it.
Yep,
like
very true.
My little brother's one, you don't have many extra SATA ports either.
Yeah,
they have like one.
There's no upgrade options for some of them. I would like to point out, when installing your RAM, it's notched, so it will only fit one way. If it doesn't fit, don't try and force it. Turn it the other way and make sure it lines up. It's pretty obvious if you look. The notch in the middle will line up, and then it should click into place.
Make sure you hear the nice 2 clicks.
Yep. Alright, so technically we now have enough of the computer together, well, once I plug in the power supply, to be able to test it. So, power supply. Wait, hang on. Don't forget to plug in your CPU cooler. Alright, so for this, usually you just need your main power connector and then your other little power connector, either ATX 12 volts.
In 2 pieces?
Huh?
Was that 24 pin in 2 pieces?
Yes.
Wow.
The reason for that is because older motherboards were only 20 pin.
Oh.
Up until, when was it? I think it started with the AMD dual cores. So the Athlon 64 X2. Actually, I'm going to flip this way, possibly. So then we're closer to the monitor input. So my test monitor over here, I have a series of different input options. So for this one, we're going to use HDMI.
I was going to say, do you want to flip the other other camera back on? Yep. So they can kind of see what you're talking about? Yeah. Beautiful.
So then I'm going to switch this monitor's input to HDMI.
Yeah, Nathan showed me this the other day. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, this actually has a bunch of inputs. Come on. So this one we have VGA, 2 DVIs, DisplayPort, HDMI, component and composite input, which is a lot for one monitor. All right, now we need a power cable. Here's one I prepared earlier. All right. Headphones don't want to come with me, apparently. Caught on my chair. There we go. All right. So, this is a trick a friend taught me. If you actually know which 2 pins on the motherboard are the power switch, you can use a ballpoint pen because it's metal and therefore conductive. So you can use that to turn it on. You could also use the tip of your screwdriver if you want to, but that's probably a little bit more dangerous. Okay. So, power button is apparently those 2 there, like so.
Neil commented saying, so don't full send the wrong way. Not if you like your fresh purchased items.
I'm guessing that was in reference to RAM.
Yeah, I'd say so. You could nearly say don't ram the RAM in.
Yeah.
No, I haven't got any kids.
Well, hey!
I've had a win. And it went to BIOS too, so...
Ryzen 3 3200G with Radeon Vega graphics, 8192 megabytes of RAM, 24096 sticks. That's what we expected to see. All right, turn the power supply off. I'm going to take it a step further. I'm actually going to install the video card while it's on the bench and make sure all that is working as well, because the video card was a second-hand item after all.
I hope it works, because I had it tested.
Yeah, I know we've had it working before, but I just want to make sure it's going to work in this and be happy.
How does that go with onboard graphics with the external graphics card as well?
In this instance, with the Ryzen 3200G, I'm pretty sure the onboard graphics will get disabled straight away as soon as it detects an external card, or dedicated card.
Yeah, discrete.
Yes.
That is still one of the most annoying things I've ever heard in computer terminology.
Yes.
Is the fact that they call like an extra graphics card a discrete graphics card.
Yeah, but the size of this one is not discrete at all.
Well, no external graphics card is discrete.
That's
Like
true.
like a discrete graphics would be an onboard graphics.
Yep.
Because you don't see it. Yeah, the big graphics
There we
card
go.
face.
It works.
Mad. Wait, is it going to BIOS? Yep, sweet.
Yep. Because we have no boot device yet. So now we essentially have a working computer, but we've got to put everything in the case. This is the fun part. How much time are we up to?
We have 25 minutes.
Whew. Okay. Apparently I decided that was enough time to have a drink in there. Alright, let's go back to this. Okay, so let's pull it all apart again. Well, not all of it, but power supply can come off. Video card can come out.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably should pull the graphics out as well.
Yeah, that will have to happen for it to go into the case. Let's move that out of the way.
And a positive about the Ryzens that Nathan didn't really mention is pretty much all of them, as far as I'm aware, are overclockable.
Yep.
Just straight out of the box. Whereas the Intel variant or Intel brand, you have to get specific models to be able to overclock. Yep. So even though this is a cheap CPU that's on the lower end of the scale, you can, if you so felt choose, you could play with it. No smoke is a good thing.
Right.
That's another comment from Neil. You might want to pop up.
The aircon back on because it's warming up in here.
Pop up Neil's comment before you bow.
Hey?
Pop up Neil's comment before you bow. He said no smoke is a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's not like a car where you have a bit of smoke when you start a motor that you can say it's fine. If you have a bit of smoke coming from a computer, you've definitely done something wrong. Which I haven't had an issue with, but I believe Nathan has.
All
You've
right.
had that issue before, haven't you?
What's that one? The
Smoke
magic
coming
smoke.
from a computer. Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah. I'm
You're
lucky
not
I
a real
haven't had that
tech
happen yet.
person if you haven't released the magic smoke at least once.
I've released magic smoke, but not from a computer.
Alright. Here's the case, which I haven't actually cleaned out yet. So more baby wipes. And I tend to use tissues afterwards to get rid of any of the stuff left behind by the wipes. Otherwise it leaves streak marks, which
That's
nobody
definitely
likes.
one of the ones, the carbide model.
Yeah? Do you know which model?
No. Like, I know it's a carbide. Looks like one of the 100 ones. You know what? Whilst you do that, I will find this case.
Alright. Alright. Thumb screws make life easier. This needs a wipe down as well.
Does the front look like it's brushed metal?
No.
May I have a look at the front?
Yeah. Hang on a second.
Okay, so it's not that one. Okay.
And
now I've seen it, I will find it.
Drive. Oh, and some fans. And some fan screws. Oh, Cooler Master.
And with Cooler Master fans.
Yeah, I think they're RGB as well. Or maybe not.
Master fan 120 AB. Interesting.
It
Bunch
had
of screws.
2 optic drive holes, didn't it?
This one? Yes.
Yeah.
Speaker. Okay. That's right. Alright, I'm going to take the back off. We'll pull all these cables through.
I feel like it's 100R series.
Yep. I dropped the screw.
Did it hit the floor?
Yeah.
That's alright then.
I think it went under something.
Oh well,
That's
minor
not so
problem.
good.
We'll find it later. I think I have spares anyway. Alright, so I'm just giving the case a quick clean out. It was second hand. There is some dust and looks like animal hairs of some kind in the bottom.
Did it still have the dust case for the base?
Yes.
Yeah, from what I can see, it's a Corsair Carbide 100R.
Alright.
And if I'm wrong, I don't think I'm wrong.
That's not an option. You're not allowed to be wrong.
Because the R has the side perspex and the
Yep.
fans up top, but
Yep.
there's a 100R silent edition that
Yeah.
doesn't have the window and doesn't have fans on top.
Yep.
So
Right, so
the only other thing, it's an ATX case, yeah?
yes
Yep.
it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the
Yep.
Corsair Carbide 100R.
Hmm.
Because one of the things I noticed that I think I'd like to do with it is the bulge on the back of it for cable management.
Yes.
Looks like that's going to help out a lot.
Alright, so usually in a new case you've got to install these metal things here, which are your motherboard standoffs. So they're usually, let's grab one as an example. Usually they have metal thread, the thread on one side, and then a hole in the other to actually screw into to mount the motherboard to the case without actually making contact with the case itself, like with the circuitry at the back of the motherboard, because you don't want that. I have heard of at least a couple of cases, no pun intended, where people have installed their motherboards without the standoffs and just fried everything. No, wait, but before we install the motherboard, we've got to make sure this plate is installed in the back, because it is a royal pain to do it afterwards. Trust me, I've tried. So that should just clip into place. And Bob's your uncle. If you have an uncle.
Or your
that
auntie
is.
these days.
Oh gosh.
Please tell me you're going to try to route that plug better somehow.
Which one?
CPU cooler plug.
We'll see. Alright, I just had to move one of the standoffs because it didn't look like it lined up in the right place. The others all appear to be correct. Yeah. All right. Now, usually, when you buy a case, at least brand new, it'll come with a bunch of screws. Thankfully, the seller of this one gave us all the screws. Maybe they're not all the screws. I think that looks like them. One way to find out.
So is this when you go until it cracks and then half turn back?
Yeah. No, those are not the right screws.
And every time I see you pick up the screwdriver, all I can think about is like Jay's 2 cents yelling out, "I fix it."
Why?
Oh, he must have had a sponsored bid for him for a bit, where every
Oh,
time
yeah.
he picked up a screwdriver, he just stopped and just yelled out, "I fix it," and went onto a huge spiel.
Definitely sponsored then.
Yeah.
These look more promising. That's better.
Do you want me to give you some peer pressure yet, or no?
Why?
Or just put some pressure on and let you know that there's 13 minutes?
Yeah, we'll probably run over time then. Or, just get it done in 13 minutes.
Yeah, well, I thought that was the only option.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, it's less than 13 minutes. It's 12 and a half minutes.
Oh. Yeah, I dropped the screw.
Whoopsies.
Alright, that is in. Now let's see if we can do something with that to make that a little bit neater. There you go.
Mostly just because
How's
it's
that?
a windowed one. Yeah, it's fine.
That's what I thought. Alright, now we can put the power supply in. And then we'll see what we've got to work with from there.
Chloe said you can do it to get it done in time.
Let me put that comment up.
I've watched too many Adam Sandler movies to take that line seriously.
I know exactly what you mean.
It's so hard. And Neil said that's all I thought as well. Oh, I feel so sorry if there's anyone young watching. I don't know who's watching, but if there was like someone young who'd never seen any Adam Sandler's movies,
Yeah.
they'd just be like, "What are these guys on about?"
No idea.
It's like
Complete
literally
ignorance.
just Google Adam Sandler. You can do it. I think it was Mum who actually didn't get that reference one day. And I had to sit down and Google it and show her, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't really know that's what that was." And I'm like,
Alright. So, what I'm going to do now is try and figure out where all of these are supposed to go. So, front panel audio is actually all the way at the back, at the bottom. So we'll run that through to there. Alright. What else do we have? USB 3 ports, which are about there. Yeah. And after that, it's just the front panel connectors.
"You might get it done."
Which are all down here. So, for your front panel connectors, in our case here, they're actually all labeled on the board, which is very helpful. And they're even labeled with plus and minus. Because for the lights, if you get plus and minus around the wrong way, they won't light up. In old cases, this used to be color coded, so white was negative and then the colored wire was positive.
These days, everything's black.
Yep. Power button, reset, reset. Power switch.
So did you say it came with a case fan or no?
We actually have 2 case fans.
Have you decided where you're going to put them?
One at the back probably and one at the top.
And use the top as an intake?
Hey? Well, actually,
Excuse me.
there is space at the front. You might put one at the front, in the middle, and one at the back. But let's get to this power supply connected up first.
I like how you could have just a direct ugly line to the 24 pin, but you're like, no, we must go to the back.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
still love how clean my setup looks.
Alright, that's in. And now, where is the other power connector? There. That's not going to reach that way. Side cutters. Have to get rid of previous cable management. It's fine. It's probably fine. Alright, yeah. 2 square, that one. Alright. There we go. So, video card. Actually, we should probably hook up some drives first. Two SATA cables. And the SSD.
What does SSD stand for?
SSD is a solid state drive because there are no moving components. Well, sorry, actually, it's because it's memory chips. Memory chips are referred to as a solid state storage, a type of storage. Smaller screwdriver for this.
Being proper and even mounting it.
Yeah. It's not going. Bigger screwdriver. That's dumb.
Neil said we should stream on Twitch or Mixer when we do builds. That's probably a good idea.
It's an
But
option.
most people who watch those are expecting big fancy builds,
Yeah, not budget
big
builds.
water cool loops and stuff.
You know what? I just realized I put this in the wrong way.
And Nathan.
So I realized the alignment is so that the cables can tuck out the back and hide. Usually most cases have them the other way. So if you look at that, the connectors now hang out the other side so that you can connect them up and hide them out of the way.
On the fancy new cases, you can just hide them full stop.
Yeah. All right. Oh, so wait. Oh, yeah. That was Neil's comment that you mentioned before.
Yeah.
All right, let's hook up some cables. So we've actually got one straight and one right angled. So we'll use the right angled cable and the SSD hiding out the back. So there's less clearance between it and the side panel.
Neil said I tried to share to my mixer, but it didn't work. And Chloe also said, you were overtime.
I think at this point it doesn't matter.
Well, the thing is, you could quickly plug it in and turn it on and be like, huzzah, it's done. Now it's just cable management.
Yeah. Maybe what I'll do is we'll end the stream and I'll do cable management at a later time. But what I'll do is I'll take a before and after photo.
Yeah.
So we'll have functional and complete and then cleaned up and complete.
Now I'm curious as to how long it took me to strip the other computer down and put it all together.
Which one?
My one. Like the one I have on my
I
work
don't know.
one.
kind of half doing cable management as I go.
Well, it's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I'm not fully doing it, but at least it'll make life a little bit easier later.
And whatever you do, guys, like when you sit in the front of this, don't just go cutting all those extra wires.
No.
Not advised.
Definitely not advised.
Do new boards support HDMI out as standard? Is what Neil asks. Most of them do, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. New motherboards, new video cards, or motherboards with onboard video.
And these days with most graphics card, they're leaning away from, is it VGA and DVI?
Yeah, there's no VGA on most of them anymore.
Yeah, they're leaning more towards DisplayPort and
DisplayPort.
HDMI.
Yep. Alright, the cables are just sticking out the back, but everything so far is all cabled. Now we just need to add the video card. That's the wrong screwdriver. There's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Found it.
It's like I saw you come and steal it, Jacob, don't lie. I think it'll be easier to buy a new Xbox than to make a computer. Well, the new Xbox, as far as I know, is pretty much a computer anyway. Like, they've finally gone from hard drives to solid-state drives.
Yeah.
Which is insane that it took them this long to do. But, like, even me, I have a Xbox One outside in the lounge room, and I can't stand playing on it because it takes so long to get into anything. But you got to remember as well, Xboxes are still nothing compared to a PC game. PC master race.
That's why we're here, right?
Yeah. Like what you've just built there would be a nice little entry computer for someone's kid, like someone who wants to get into gaming and just have something to play Fortnite and all those real basic games on.
At 1080p.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Like it's not gonna be a crazy build that's fast as everything, but it'll be a decent 1080p rig.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, like, roughly how much did this cost?
I don't even remember anymore.
Because like for the price of this, it's like I said, just a real nice basic entry level thing.
Probably about $500.
Chloe said, "Yes, I heard. We have an SSD hooked to ours. Yeah, you can upgrade the hard drives in the Xboxes to SSDs. I believe you did that for a customer, didn't you, Nathan? On
No,
a
that was just a
PS4.
500 gig spinner to a 200,
Oh, okay.
2 terabyte spinner.
Yeah.
And that was a PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I think I'm being a little bit fussy now. I'm putting the slot cover back in.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're trying to make it just for work, you definitely go on that step further than you need to.
Yep. Well, all I need to do then is plug this in, and then we are done. At least for a functional point of view. It's not the prettiest yet, but we'll get there. Let's power it up and make sure it works.
Make sure you flick camera as well.
Yep. All right. That one. Hi. Right. Hold your breath.
Did you plug hot HDMI in? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, fingers crossed, guys.
Hey.
Obviously, next time we can do we can do it tomorrow if you want, Nathan. Instead of doing the video we were going to talk about, tomorrow's video we can do the cable management and basic install of Windows.
I think we'll do that.
Has that SSD already got Windows?
No.
Yeah. It'd just be one of those basic things.
Well, I think we'll cover the first bit first, and then we'll see how much we can do on this after that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to leave this on the bench for now. I might clean up a little bit after I finish, but yeah, that'll stay there. And we'll finish off the build tomorrow.
Easy done. I think I'm going to go to bed. Or at least have dinner, then go to bed. Nathan, you close the thing so you have no sound. Nope.
Where's the mic?
There
Here's
you
the
go.
mic.
Now you have sound.
Cool. Teething problems again. Still, there's only our third live stream, so thank you to those who joined us. So the plan is tomorrow, to start with, we're going to look at the Australian government's COVID Safe app, because a lot of people don't want to install it. A lot of people are scared of it. So I'm going to install it live on my phone, and we'll see how that goes, and go through like their terms of service, what it wants access to, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and then if we have time, I'm going to leave that pretty much as is for now, and we'll finish off with the fans, the cable management, and installing Windows tomorrow.
Neil said he's getting wood fire pizza. A little jealous.
I can't eat dairy, so I'm good. You can have mine.
The only thing I was going to say is, obviously, if you're watching now, let us know if you have any questions of the COVID Safe app. If not, Nathan's going to make a quick little video to post up on the dot mill, and we'll share around. See if we can get some questions, like people's questions and queries, so we can answer them tomorrow.
Wait, what am I making a video for?
A little like snippet for tomorrow's video, just so you can say we're talking about the COVID.
Oh, yeah. Yep, now I get you. Yep,
So we
that'll
can see
go
if we
up
can
later
get some
tonight.
messages.
Cool. All right. So that's about it. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions about building a computer or technology in general, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll be back again tomorrow from 5 p.m. Thanks. Bye.
See you then.